Hello, world, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey and Kelsey Charles' apartment. It's nice to see you guys. Welcome. I'm going to post a link to Kelsey's YouTube page, which I'm going to make her start using.
Yes.
And then you guys will be subscribed to that, and you'll be able to see all of her content, and that'll be lovely. So that is in the chat right now. And this is now the Kelsey Charles show. She's going to run this bad boy. I am just going to click on any super chats that may show up. But this is now Kelsey Charles' show. I'm an analyst. She's the host.
That's correct. I'm really glad you recognize that, Jeffrey. Basically what I did, I was like, it's a snow day. I feel like all of y'all are, for the most part, probably hanging in. So why not just do like a Cowboys catch-all? Like, do I have homework I should be doing for class this weekend? Yes. Am I going to do it? No. Not right now.
You're too old to be in school.
I am young. Thank you so much. Excuse you.
I thought school was like 18 to 22. And then if you do more school, it's 22 to 26 or whatever. And then you're done.
I'll have you know, I was confused for a 27-year-old the other day. So thank you very much.
What are you really?
I am not. I'm at the age where I don't tell you guys how old I am anymore. I'm 31.
Sweet.
It's fine.
Okay.
All right, guys. So I feel like this off season, obviously the Cowboys aren't playing. I feel like there's some swirling questions about things. And in true like Cowboys fashion, even though they're not on the field, there's still stuff happening. So and honestly, truly too, I've been traveling a lot and I've been busy. So Jeff, I haven't got a chance to talk to you about this. I want to start by talking about the Dan Quinn news. And
well, I thought you might.
Yeah.
Because you're obsessed. You and Megan Murray are both obsessed with Swag Daddy Dan. So yeah, I thought you might want to talk about Dan Quinn.
Oh yes. And I am drinking 9 Banded whiskey, you guys. It's really awesome. And it's female. I don't know. There's lots of women involved in it. It's from Austin. It's pretty badass. It's really good. Okay. So I wanted to get your thoughts though, because I was truly in moments like this where, hey, what's up, Taj? Thanks for the $5 USD party at Kelsey's. You're right. Weirdest thing I've seen Hellman do in person. Oh gosh. Jeff, you answer that first. Jump in a pool and a frozen pool with me.
Yeah, you both jumped in a frozen pool. And that was because LSU won, or was that a charity thing? Because you don't care about LSU.
No, that was a charity thing. We raised some money for the puppies because we decided to jump in the pool last Alaska. So here we are.
Okay. And somebody asked, who is this person? This person is Kelsey Charles. She does the Star at Night TV show with David Hellman and other stuff for the Cowboys and things for Blogging the Boys. So Kelsey is a Cowboys person. That's Kelsey.
Yes, that's me. So I guess I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Dan Quinn situation because, listen, I think you're more technically in the media than me, but at the same time, I feel like I'm going to go ahead and classify you for my sake. But I was very surprised to see Dan Quinn just totally say, hey, no, I'm staying here in Dallas. And, of course, that was like right amid all of the stuff with Sean Payton leaving. And whenever Sean Payton has something to say, like there's going to be a Dallas connection of some sort, right? So where's your head at with him staying in Dallas? Like obviously Micah Parsons got his way, but I kind of have some theories as to why, but I kind of want to hear yours first.
My theory on why Dan Quinn is still in Dallas is twofold. One, I think he thought that he was going to get the Denver Broncos job, and he didn't because he has a relationship with George Payton, the GM up there, and he tried to bring him with him when he got the head coaching job in Atlanta. So I think he thought he was going to get that job, and then the Broncos opted to hire Nathaniel Hackett from the Packers because they're going to try to get Aaron Rodgers. And when he didn't get that one, I think he's happy as the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys and he likes that job. I do think that he really, really wants to be a head coach, but I also think that one or two of those openings he looked at and was like, that is a ass job. And I probably don't even want that job. So I think it was partially that he's good here, but mostly because he didn't get the job he wanted.
Yeah. I kind of felt the same. I was like, okay, so out of the jobs that he was interviewing for, like he wasn't even messing with Jacksonville. He's like, y'all figure that out, right? Like, no. Chicago, really not in a better position. New York, who wants to touch that? I mean, their ownership is literally sitting there saying, like, we have totally screwed up our quarterback. Like, that's just, I mean, that's a mess. Like, and if I would have thought anywhere, it would have been a Denver, like you said. So I'm kind of with you. Like, I feel like Dan Quinn was one of those guys where he was like, listen, like, I am actually enjoying I'm enjoying, I don't know if I would say he's enjoying less responsibility, but I think he's enjoying the caliber of talent that he has, especially in a player like Micah Parsons. That's such a unique experience for a coordinator to be able to mold from the get. I mean, he's incredible. We all know this. This is like, have you been hiding under a rock? You know what I mean? And I think the combination of Micah, the potential that is on this defensive side of the thing, and also just the fact that, like, listen, his picking was not available. He was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, there's going to be more openings next year. Like, trust me on that. And I'll take another swing at it then.
Yeah, I feel like if you were just going to get like the Giants job, the job would suck where you're at the tail end of a bad quarterback and the roster's bad and the cap situation's bad. And I bet it's kind of a tough decision though, because there's only 32 head coaching jobs. There's no guarantee the Cowboys defense will be good again. There's no guarantee that his name will be hot again. But I guess that's the spot you end up in where it's like, will I take any head coaching job because that's the job I want? Or do I try to be a little bit choosy? Because the worst thing that could happen is I go to a bad spot. I don't have a long leash. I get fired again, and I'm never a head coach again. And I think that's kind of stuff you got to work through.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like that Jerry, I still think at the end of the day, Jerry is tried and true, like this old school sales guy, and he like thrives off of the deal, right? And I feel like he had to have had a conversation. And I think he kind of validated that when he was talking at the Senior Bowl this week about the potential of like a head coach in waiting, which I thought was a very unique and very transparent comment to say, where he was like, yeah, like coordinators stay here because like they know they have the opportunity to potentially be a head coach here one day. And I'm like, you literally, I mean, the whole like Mike is our head coach, but then I don't feel like he confirmed it. Like there was a lot of things up in the air and a lot of like sales tactics going on. Did you kind of feel like that way too? Because I certainly did. And I was like, I don't think that you're fooling anyone when you think that people don't realize like how you're playing the chess pieces right now.
Yeah, I think my theory is that Jerry doesn't love Mike McCarthy and Steven does. Like, I think that's Steven Jones's guy. It's not Jerry Jones's guy. Jerry will always have eyes for Sean Payton. So a year from now, if they lose in the first round or they don't win the division or anything short of maybe winning the Super Bowl, it'll just be a matter of, is this Dan Quinn's job? Is this Sean Payton's job? And I just want to point out, this is bizarro world. You're not going to have another GM or owner in football. I don't think that at the Senior Bowl would be talking about a non-head coach on his staff being the head coach of his football team, because you have a head coach on your football team.
Yeah.
It's all very, very bizarro world, but I think it's because Jerry loves Sean Payton. And I also think Jerry likes Kellen Moore. And I don't know if Steven does. So I think we just got a whole bunch of this stuff going on. And so Jerry's just going to be kind of snippy and drop hints about other people all the time, because I don't think he's totally getting his way right now.
So I actually want to talk about that for a minute, because I feel like, I mean, I've been around the team for a hot minute at this point, and it's a little scary.
Only like 15 years.
Yeah, it's really weird. Anyways, I think the first time I realized the true dynamics at play was when DeMarcus Ware, they got rid of him. And that was the first time I think that I noticed, at least like in my tenure with the team, that it was Steven who really had a say, right? And whether or not you think that was the right decision or not, I think it's very obvious. I mean, even like the Manziel conversations, like some of these names that are thrown out here. So how much do you feel like genuinely at this point is the decision making in Jerry's hands versus Steven's, like dynamic wise? Because I feel like there's definitely like some competing philosophies, at least. And I've noticed that in some of the conversations that have been had.
Yeah, this is one of the weird things is that I think Jerry's always been kind of patient. Like he's stuck by Jason Garrett because he believed in him. He's sticking with Kellen Moore because he believes in him and all these different things. But something that our mutual friend, the great Brian Broaddus, has been talking about the last couple of weeks, I kind of buy, where Jerry just went to a funeral for a friend of his, John Madden, right? And so people who you're friends with that are your age, you're watching them die and you're looking around and like mortality is so real.
Yeah.
And he wants another Super Bowl. And I think that goes into everything that we've heard this offseason already, where Jerry's talking about, I don't want to hear what we're going to fix after the year. I want it fixed after the Tampa game. The Sean Payton idea. I think all of these things are tied into Jerry now is like getting close. Like at the very least, he's on the 15th or 16th hole. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And like he wants it real bad. And Steven is the salary cap guy. And the salary cap guy is why DeMarcus Ware left, because DeMarcus Ware was getting up there. His back was iffy, but he was still making really big money. And Steven was like, this doesn't work. There's a salary cap. We got to do something else, which is great because DeMarcus Ware got to win a Super Bowl. And that's where we are with Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence now, where they're really, really good players. But Steven is salary cap man. And he's like, hey, we have to cut money somewhere. Where are we going to do it? And I think Jerry, maybe he grabs it back and does some wild stuff on his own, but I don't think Jerry's done anything on his own in a long time.
Yeah.
I think it is very much Will McClay, Stephen Jones, and Jerry's there. But if everybody's telling him, no, that's not the best idea, he goes, okay. Like, I don't think Jerry unilaterally does damn near anything.
So I think we all agree. And real quick, guys, we're just having a conversation, just like BSing around. If you guys want to make sure like we answer your question, make sure you send us a little super chat so we can.
Whoa, look at Kelsey calling for it.
But I think we all know that Jerry wants to win. But let me ask you this: do you think Jerry wants to win, or do you think Jerry wants to win his way?
His
I
way.
think those are two different things, and I think that's worth clarifying and qualifying, quite frankly, because there's no doubt in my mind that he wants it. But is he willing to do whatever it may take?
No, I don't think so. Because I think we're human. And as a human, it's hard to convince yourself in your head that your way isn't the right way, especially if you're a billionaire. So for Jerry, this is my kind of my measuring stick. Think about everything you know about Jerry Jones. Now, God and Jesus, two Moseses, a Peter and a Paul, ride down on pale steeds, and they pull up in front of Jerry's house at Highland Park or wherever he lives. And they're like, good news, Jerry, we're going to let you win the Super Bowl this year. And Jerry goes, hell yeah, this sounds great. And then they say, but here's the thing. Afterwards, your franchise is going to be worth the 15th most in the NFL. And you won't be the most popular franchise or the most valuable franchise. You'll just be another team. You'll be the Vikings. You'll be the Panthers. You're just a team. Jerry shoots that down, right? There's no way Jerry takes that deal.
Yeah.
He has to be the Cowboys. He has to be America's team. He has to have the job title of general manager, even though he doesn't do 95% of the general manager stuff. So like he can have smart people around him try to help him do things the best they can. And it doesn't mean you're doomed or anything, but yes, Jerry wants to win his way.
How about, hear me out. How about we create like an assistant to the general manager position? Like go.
It's Will McClay.
You're right.
It's Will McClay. Like I think
how about the assistant? Like if you want to bring in like a head coach who is of the caliber of being able to win now, I feel like you're going to have to give him a little bit more ownership over the team. You can't have, the yes man. I really do feel like the kind of person that would come in and be able to say, like, yes, I can get you there and I know how, and I can get you there now, or at least like give you a better shot, is someone who's going to want to have a little bit more of a handle over the reins. Like, am I wrong in saying that?
No, and I think that would be like Sean Payton. And I think that's why Sean Payton's name came up. One, because they'll always be tied together, because I think Sean's interested in coaching the Cowboys, and Jerry likes Sean Payton. But Sean Payton in New Orleans was pretty much the GM and the head coach, and he ruined their salary cap twice. And then the second time that he ruined it, he just lit the match and walked out, right? And that's the stuff that's happening right now with Amari Cooper and Tank Lawrence, where maybe one, maybe both aren't on the team next year. And as a sports fan, you look at it and you go, what? That is insane. Some of your best players, and you might just get rid of them, because the Cowboys don't want to end up where the Saints are right now. And where the Saints are right now is $70 million over the cap, and they don't have a quarterback. It's so bad that Sean Payton literally said, I'd rather go home, and walked away because of what he did. And he did, like you would take this year. Here's how the Cowboys would do. Here's how Sean Payton would handle the Cowboys cap right now. He would be like, DeMarcus Lawrence counts for $27 million this year. Ooh, that's a big number. And Steve's like, yeah, maybe we need to get rid of him. And Sean Payton would go, no, restructure it. Just write him a signing bonus of $20 million. That'll bring it down to $7 million. Now we have to account for that $20 million later. And then Amari Cooper, he counts 22. Give him a signing bonus, $16 million. Pull that number down to 6. Put that 16 back there. Well, in New Orleans, those 20s and 16s and all those numbers, they caught up. And Drew Brees, who still had money owed, even though he didn't have a contract, because he just went, put it back there. And then Sean Payton was like, this sucks. I'm out. And the team has to deal with it. And that's the way that Sean Payton does business as a GM and head coach. Yeah. But I guess to the original question, yeah, he would want to be able to come in and feel like he could do things kind of his way. And the only way that happens is if my theory on Jerry is right, which is he's watching people his age die, and he's going, I got to do whatever it takes to win one. I need one. And that means risking the future and risking having a bad year or two later, because you've got dead money on the books. And that is what will be required if Sean Payton shows up, probably.
All right, so we got a little bit of a super chat here. Thanks to Joel. Joel wants to know, we know how the cap restructures or cuts can work. How would y'all do it? GM this team for us tragic fans for a hot second. Okay.
So, and draft Linderbaum.
I just say this really quickly before you answer that question. I love how deep y'all are already in draft territory. Like, what, 2 weeks into this? Like, it's like we're on like mock draft like 15, and I just think that's wonderful. Like, God bless you all.
Third round, Jeremy Ruckert, Ohio State tight end. Not bad. He's not bad. God, it's really tough. Like, it's easy to just say that the Cowboys are idiots and that they're screwing everything up. But like, I work with one guy, Gavin, who's like, yes, do what Sean Payton would do. Mortgage the future, bring down cap numbers, but keep Amari Cooper, keep Tank Lawrence. And when you do stuff like that, you also can't get rid of them later, because now you owe even more money. And you kind of fall into having to keep doing that. So I restructure Dak Prescott, which saves you 20-something million. Now you're under the cap, but barely. I cut Anthony Brown. That's $5 million.
Bye.
Maybe cut Zerline. I, no matter what, would not get rid of Amari Cooper. I wouldn't do that. Saving $16 million isn't worth losing your number one receiver, at least not to me.
Correct.
And Tank Lawrence, I would leave Cooper's contract alone and keep him. I would restructure Tank's, and it's going to end up biting you in the ass. But I have a good team, and I need that money to pay Randy Gregory. And I got to keep Randy Gregory. And so that would be the beginning of it. And they will restructure Dak. That's how they're going to save money. They'll push more of his money back. I'd restructure Tank, keep him, and I'd pay Randy Gregory, and then we'll scrape it together from there.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. The whole conversation around Amari is like, oh, his production is down. Like what? Like 56.5 yards or something. I don't even know, per game is what it is. But I feel like I think that here's the problem with stats. And I saw David Parrish mention something about like cutting the number one safety with Anthony Brown. I love stats. I literally work for a sports statistical company, but I feel like stats are useless without color commentary or perspective, right? So is it fair to sit there and say Amari is just like not the kind of player that he used to be? Let's consider COVID. He had COVID. Let's consider scheme. Let's consider drafting CeeDee Lamb. Let's consider the emergence of a Dalton Schultz having who the hell thought Cedric Wilson was even going to be like a component in terms of like a wide receiver 4? Like who has a conversation about a fourth string dude? I don't know many teams that are in that position. Not to mention, I know all of you on here for the most part were pretty unhappy with Kellen Moore and his play calling, at least the second half of the season. So how much of that do you put on lack of like integrating Amari into the scheme? So is it actually fair to say like, yeah, get rid of him, like he's not worth his salt?
No, because I remember before he got here and the offense was lost. And so they had to give up a first round pick to trade for him. And I remember when he didn't play against Kansas City and in the first half, they could barely move a football. So I think I also add into that equation that the biggest problem for them the last couple of months of the season wasn't Amari Cooper in any way, shape, or form. It was that they couldn't block. Teams were rushing 4 guys and getting pressure, which means they're using 7 guys to cover 4 guys, and you have to throw the ball quickly, and they're going to have deep safeties. So now your outside wide receivers aren't going to do damage. So the answer to most of their problems, I think, is how the hell did you lose the ability to block? Because if you could block, what would have happened against teams those last 10 to 12 weeks is they would have lined up and played defense that way, and you would have handed it to Zeke and then Pollard and then Zeke and then Pollard, and they would have got 7 yards every carry, and defenses would have gone fine, and they would have walked down to safety, and now we're playing differently, and now I'm throwing to Amari, and now I'm throwing to CD, and that's the way football works. And if teams can rush 4 guys, drop 7 guys, and pressure your quarterback, receivers aren't going to have big numbers, period. So if you want to use that as evidence that it's like, well, if that's the result, why pay any of them $20 million? And I'd say, okay, but my better solution is remember how to block. Do what you got to do to fix your offensive line, and those weapons will come back to being weapons. I just think it's dangerous business thinking that getting rid of Amari Cooper would be a good thing or that it's going to make your team better.
All right, guys, don't forget we're taking your questions here on Super Chat. Hurricane Teabag. Interesting. Great name. Are edge and wide receiver bigger needs given what Bobby said?
Maybe. I mean, it all depends. It's like we were talking to Dave today. Sweet Dave Hellman.
Sweet Dave Hellman.
And like on February 3rd, wide receiver isn't a huge need. If Coop's gone, it's a massive need.
Sure.
But also if Coop's gone, they could take the money they save, sign Gallup and Wilson, and bring back Malik Turner. So it's like an edge, same thing. If you use Tank to save money and get rid of him, even if you keep Randy Gregory, yeah, huge need. But on February 3rd, we just don't know.
All right, guys, we're going to do a Super Chat session real quick. So send them in. We're going to do a little bit of rapid fire. Okay, so Anthony Gonzalez wants to know, will the curse of Harambe end with a Bengals victory? This whiskey is getting to me, apparently. Gone, not forgotten, R.I.P. Yes.
I thought Harambe was a gorilla.
He was killed at the Cincinnati Zoo.
Oh, he was in Cincinnati?
Yeah, he was, which is why the team is like, this is – I got to say this, you guys. I think all y'all know I have like 1,000 teams. Like I could draw a connection between A, any person, but B, any team. So I got a lot of family in Cincinnati. So therefore, I feel like I should just root for the Bengals. Plus, like, are you kidding me? Joe Burrow, like that man is a national treasure. I have to cheer for him. And how can you not support the animals? Like if that's what they're doing it for, like you have to cheer for their team. Like it makes sense in my opinion.
Yes. And rest in peace, Harambe, you sweet soldier.
You sweet gorilla. Tommy Buster says, sign Dez for an apartment.
I don't even know what that means. Are you
I
saying
think-
that like that would be the payment is just that you give him an apartment?
I
Like
don't
you have
think
to.
he needs one.
No, I don't either. I think Dez is doing all right. He's out there rocking the cryptocurrency world. He's
Hell
out there doing it.
Okay, Renee De Los Santos said, would you cut Zeke and push Pollard to RB1? Guys, don't forget we're doing super chat. Really quick session. Send them in.
Look at Kelsey Kelsey just pounding whiskey, trying to make money. That's what's happening. You can't cut Zeke. Once again, salary cap. Next year you can. This year you can't. But the fact that he gets the ball more than Tony Pollard is criminal. It's criminal.
But what about the style of play? Like, I feel like you can't negate that when you talk about those two. Like, it's not fair to compare them because they're not comparable, in my opinion. Genuinely.
I think they are. Like Tony Pollard's 210 pounds. Like he's not a little guy. And
they
the
don't
idea
run the same.
No, they like Zeke, and by don't run the same, here's the thing. When people say they don't run the same, what you really mean is that Zeke's not fast or quick anymore. Like Zeke used to be fast.
Or was he just a
Yes.
truck? He was a
Zeke
truck.
Zeke ran a 4.4. He used to be fast, quick, and powerful. Now he's powerful.
Okay.
Pollard is quick, fast, and elusive, and it's great balance. And for 3 straight years, gets more yards per carry and more yards per catch,
But
and
it's
catches more of the targets.
For a college player to transition and transform when they go from college to pro. So it doesn't surprise me that he's different now.
Kelsey, Zeke hadn't had a 40-plus yard run in 3 years. Pollard had like 3 this year. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know if this is you repping for Mama Zeke. I don't know what's happening right now. But he did have a hurt knee. So maybe next year he'll be great. We'll just keep telling ourselves that until it finally happens. It'll be great.
Okay, so MK Garrett says, we have good players. Yes. In my opinion, it is how we use them, at least offensively. Will we see Pollard, Zeke 60-40 split next season? I'm assuming, are you saying Pollard 60, Zeke 40?
He is. Okay. And the thing about that is that I don't know how to do like Brian Broaddus has a gang of 7. I have a gang of however many people are in my phone, and some of them know lots of stuff from being in different places. And one of them, what I will say was in the building and in running back rooms with the Cowboys at different times over the last 3 or 4 years. And he says that literally every coach in the organization, whether it was Skip Pete or the other Gary Brown or Kellen Moore or Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy, like they all say the same thing. Pollard needs more touches. Pollard needs more touches. And it never happens. And like, I don't know. I just, as a regular human, I can't make myself believe that Jerry Jones from the owner's box is literally saying, no, Zeke will play more than Pollard. Zeke will get more carries than Pollard. Because as a coach during a football game, I don't care about that. I'm just trying to win. I'm just putting dudes in. I do think Zeke has Witten status, and that when Pollard goes in, if Zeke's out for 2 or 3 plays and decides he's going back in, I don't think anybody stops him. Mm-hmm. He jogs out there, and Pollard's like, oh, got to go. Pollard should get the ball more than Zeke. And I don't think he will. I think that's just one of the things that you have to live with. The Cowboys are going to play the money guy. He makes the money, they're going to play him. And Pollard this will be the last year of his deal, and then he'll go be really good for someone. And the Cowboys will cut Zeke next year, and then we'll figure out who our new running back is going to be. That's my prediction, okay?
Wow. Shout out on the running back comment real quick. You guys should say a prayer for Gary Brown. He's going through a couple of health problem things. So just keep him in your thoughts. Sidebar on that. And also, really quick random story from when I was an intern like 50,000 years ago. Skip Pete was with the team, and literally he came in the back of Valley Ranch and was like, talking, like he was so mad. He was bitching about how his wife was talking about like her red bottom shoes. And he was like, yeah, all you guys bring your like heels and I'm going to paint the bottoms of your shoes red. So, yeah, he was basically having an issue with Louboutins and had come up with an innovative solution. And I thought that was pretty funny. So
okay.
A long time ago. Not that I would accept that. Okay, so super chat from Armando. He says, Parsons beat Hill in the Pro Bowl fastest man contest. Parsons did win the 40. I mean, are we surprised by this?
Parsons is technically, I think, they called it the fastest man contest, and he won. So Micah Parsons is the fastest man in the NFL, and Trayvon Diggs is the best receiver in the NFL, even though he doesn't play receiver. He won the best catch contest if you didn't see the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge. My guy made 1 catch, fully extended, doing a flip, and he did one where he caught
Off
it
a
under his
trampoline?
leg.
God.
Under his leg one-handed. It was pretty sick. So he's the best receiver and Mike is the fastest, even though Tyreek Hill didn't really run hard. But he did outrun Nick Chubb and Trayvon Diggs, which I knew he would because he runs a 4.3 940. Micah Parsons is an animal.
Yeah, I mean, literally, do you ever get mad when you look at this talent on this roster and just think, why not, rather?
Yeah, guys, you ever get mad? You think this team should probably win more? Anybody?
Set the world on fire.
Anybody think maybe this team should win more than they do? Maybe
we won't even go there.
Maybe win a playoff game. I don't know.
Soto man, guys, we're still going through your questions, so send them in via super chat. Jeff and Kelsey, what is our offensive identity? And please don't say we're going to aggressively attack what the defense is giving us, guys. We're gonna take it
for
day
6
by
weeks.
day.
That was the identity, and it works great. I think the problem is that Kellen ran out of plays. Like. I thought Brian Broaddus was stupid for talking about how he's a play collector and he doesn't really have a scheme, because as long as you have enough plays, I don't care. Just call whatever play is going to work against the defense they're showing you and go and dance with it. But the good offenses do, like when you've drawn up one play, great, and it works, right? Remember the trickery? Connor McGovern lines up as part of a receiver bunch and you throw it to CD on a screen and you go.
I would say some PG-13 things right now, but I won't. Just know that that's what's happening every time that like a big man is in the backfield. Keep going.
Okay. And so like you've shown that play, but then you don't have a play off of that play. Like the next time that you run that look, it needs to be a fake screen and somebody runs a wheel route and there's a screen the other direction. Like you have to have plays off of plays, which I don't think he does. And so I think it was easier for the league to kind of figure out Kellen Moore. This team doesn't have an offensive identity. They don't have one. And I don't care if they do, but you got to have enough plays or counter plays to your plays that people don't know exactly what's going on all the time.
All right. So nice fart noise. Ben Morgan says, would it be better to move on from Tyron 1 year too early? I'm not sure that even when healthy, he will play very well moving forward. Oh.
Kelsey, you mentioned this with, who did you mention it with? That you mentioned COVID, because I think Tyron Smith played bad in the playoff game because of the lingering COVID effects. That's what I think.
Really?
And if I think something, I don't think it for no reason. Okay, people? So Tyron's still a good player. The challenge is going to be, when do you try to replace him? Because if I used a first-round pick on a left tackle, he wouldn't be better than Tyron Smith right now. So my first-round pick would be watching Tyron Smith play, except for the games he missed. So I think that's the weirdest spot for this team. I need a left guard. I'm down to upgrade center. I might need a receiver. At the moment, I need a safety. I'll take a corner. Wouldn't mind a linebacker. I like defensive line. But at left tackle, if you drafted one, he might just be watching other people play football unless he could play left guard at a high level. So I think Tyron's the one where they're in the toughest spot, because you would really be drafting a guy. And I guess if you did it, you would trade Tyron. Or I guess the Eagles drafted a left tackle in the future while Peters was still there. What's that?
I hate even hearing you say that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I like Tyron Smith. He's a sweet, sweet man. I don't want to trade him.
Yeah. Okay. So David Parrish says they're comparable because they start in the same spot and one of them runs farther than the other from said spot. Okay. So we're talking about the run backers.
Good job, David. Good job, David.
Hey, for the record, we're calling it run backers because that's where we're at in this bottle.
Run backers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dr. J said the Chiefs last year cut 2 aging linemen and went draft, trade, and free agency signing. Tyron was not the same after the injury. Maybe time to move on. Any chances Cowboys bring in a free agent O-line? Oh, Tampa Bay center? Are we thinking like why am I blanking on his name? Like Valley Ranch days, who we brought in, and he went to college at North Texas. He played a long career at Brian Waters.
Oh, Brian Waters. I didn't remember he even came here. He played for the Chiefs forever. I didn't remember that. Ryan Jensen is Tampa center. The Cowboys, it is time to start turning over the offensive line, I think. But like, you're not moving on from Zach Martin. He's still a Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber player. I think Tyron is still a Pro Bowl-ish caliber player. So it's not like you're in a hurry, but I think that if in free agency you signed a real life starting caliber center or guard, and then also drafted an offensive lineman with your first or second pick in the draft, I am 100% here for that. I am here for trying to turn it back over and get it back figured out. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, so super chat from MK Garrett. Guys, we are still taking your super chats if you want your question answered.
Okay, Kelsey.
I'm just saying, making sure like
You're such a hobo.
You're a hobo. Guess you're dressed like one. Like, get out of here. Okay, so he said the only constant with player misusage over the years is the Joneses. Will we see a season with us hearing more from the coaches versus Jerry?
Hearing more from the coaches versus Jerry. Oh, like this year in terms of the media, where we didn't hear a lot from Jerry other than on 105.3 The Fan, the official home of the Cowboys. Listen to G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7. Myself, Brian Broaddus, Gavin Dawson, Lucius Alexander.
Squad.
Yeah, I guess that's true. How many glasses have you had?
I've had 2.
That's why she's getting loose and trying to get super chats. People are going to ask for feet. The cat's in the picture.
Yeah. This is
maybe. I guess MK Garrett, if you could clarify your question, hearing more from the coaches versus Jerry, in terms of like who's on the field or in terms of who we hear in the media, because I think I would like
Jerry is involved with this team and around. You're always going to have that presence. I think it's just kind of no, Miles. We did not say feet. Actually, you know what? We said feet. $1,000 minimum is the starting bid for feet picks. I cannot with that. Anyways, I just think, hey Jeff, who's the cheers, you guys. Reminder, guys, we're drinking 9 Bandit tonight. It's the whiskey of choice.
Do they pay you to say that?
No.
We're out of super chats. You need to find a whiskey deal. You need to find an endorsement.
Upset. No, but for real, I really do think like as long as Jerry's involved with the team, like he's going to be a big part of the external commentary. Like that's like it's always been something where it's more than a team. Like, am I wrong in saying that? Like that's kind of the beauty of the Dallas Cowboys. Like it's the DCC. It's you know, the people that are coming to the stadium and doing shows. Like it's the Star Complex. It's innovation. It's not, you know, and that was building off of the early success in the 90s, but I think it's always going to be like that from here on out.
Yeah, like he'll always be involved and out front and doing media, and he'll always be doing things for the Cowboy brand. And maybe I'm a dumbass. I mean, I know I'm a dumbass, but I find it hard to believe that Jerry from his suite is literally like, this player's going to play more than that player. But maybe I should believe it because like Zeke is a popular Cowboys brand. There's value in that to the brand. So I don't know. Maybe. I hope not.
I'm laughing at David. Listen, if someone wants to send $1,000 for feet pics, I'll send Jeff and I's feet pics. If you want them that bad, that's terrifying for you.
CW Nunn didn't even send a question. He's just hitting it up. What a beast. I think that's probably for the feet pick fund.
Yes.
That's probably what that is.
Okay, so let me ask you one more thing. We only have a few more minutes because honestly, like I have to finish some homework, which, you know, my marketing homework is going to be crazy tonight.
What kind of homework are we doing? What are we studying?
Well, it would require me to open the homework before I would tell you that. So I will have to do that ASAP.
Well, like what's the course called?
It's a marketing course. And then I also have
Are you going to market for my digital sports network?
Yes.
That doesn't exist?
And your charity that doesn't exist?
And my 501c3 that doesn't exist quite yet, but it's about to?
Guys, y'all are getting some insight. I love it. Renee said, which position would captain trade down double dip at? Hey, listen, you guys, like, can we, like, I don't know, this isn't the right medium for this, but, like, can we upvote for some captain trade down shirts? Like, I was trying to get him on this last year. I appreciate your previous design, but I have a designer that I really want to make some badass captain trade down shirts. Like it's
wait, time out. I need your designer for something else too. I do have a guy who watches and listens that's already sent me some ideas.
Yes.
He wants to design the Party at Jeff's shirt because everybody in here always thinks there's a party at Jeff's and they always send it in. And I always tell them, no, there's no party at Jeff's, but we're going to make a Party at Jeff's shirt and we're going to merch that bad boy. Don't tell my bosses. And we're going to send either some or all of the proceeds. I don't know. Hadn't thought about it that much to, my nonprofit towards mental health things that doesn't exist yet, but it's going to.
Guys, we have a lot of cool things.
What position would I double dip at? If offensive line counts as one position, maybe center and guard. You could double dip on the D line. You could double dip in the secondary, but not the same position. I could take a linebacker. I don't know. Wherever the good players are. How about that? Wherever the good players are.
Oh, good one. Okay, so Joel says, put this towards some crawfish or a pizza party with you, Kelsey, Bronson, Hellman. Hey, guys, guess what? My 21st birthday is coming up in about a month. So we will do that. Typically, we do have a bit of a crawfish boil. We crash Jeff's party pad.
Will you be here for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I will.
It's going to be 65 degrees, and Broadus already told me it's in season, and we're going to do it.
Hell yeah. God, I honestly, I don't know what I did to deserve this friend group. Taco Man says, missed this whole stream, going back to listen. Take my money. If you insist, you actual king. Thank you. This was kind of fun, was it not?
Yeah, I had a great time. We got your feet. Oh, wait, we didn't get your feet. We almost got your feet.
I'm like half tempted to pull my foot up. I have a tattoo on the bottom of my foot. Does that change my market value for my foot?
For some people it goes up and some it goes down, I bet. Some would say you blemished your perfect canvas, and some would think that it's lovely.
I have this running joke with this NFL meme guy on Instagram. You guys should follow him. He's amazing. It's a not Joe Flacco. Thanks MK Garrett for the Party at Jeff's fund. And
MK Garrett's been going hard tonight. We appreciate you, my friend. We really do. By the way, I'm going to put Kelsey's YouTube channel in here in the Twitch chat. That is Kelsey's YouTube channel, which I'm going to make her use. And I'm going to make her also do things on this one if I can steal her where I'm trying to. Don't worry about things. But also, follow her YouTube channel if you're interested in hearing Kelsey talk. A lot of people aren't, but some people are.
Well, you're not a lot of people, so whatever. This was fun, guys. We should do it again. We will actually probably do it again next week when I'm done with my homework. But right now I have a lot of homework to do. So how about you go ahead and send some thoughts and prayers? And when I tweet out questions for homework help, go ahead and answer them because I will need them.
There you go, at Kelsey_Charles on the Twitter. And her YouTube channel is at the very beginning of the chat and at the very end of the chat. And Kelsey, no more talking for you. We're signing off now. And so I want to tell everybody to stay tuned. Oh, shout out to the members of the page. Anybody who is a member of the YouTube page, which you can find on the main page, I now have a little badge that you get of Proud Brian Broadus when he's looking at Mo Claiborne like this. As it goes next to your name, and you get access to the emojis, including a Party at Jeff's emoji and an emote and an animated thing of when CD ripped my headset off. So there's cool things.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now that being said,
JT,
remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through. So be cool to everyone.